Red snapper, also known as American red snapper, is one of the most popular marine fish species in the global market. With its firm, pinkish-white flesh and distinctive sweet flavor, red snapper is not only an excellent ingredient for many delicious dishes, but also offers high nutritional value. Let's explore the modern farming and care process of red snapper to understand why its meat tastes so good and maintains such high quality. Farming red snapper using offshore circular cages in the Pacific Ocean is a modern and eco-friendly aquaculture model that delivers high economic efficiency. These circular cages, ranging from 30 to 50 meters in diameter, are securely anchored in clean ocean areas with gentle currents and stable salinity. Juvenile fish, raised at onshore hatcheries, are transported to the offshore cages by specialized boats. Upon release into the cages, great care is taken to help the fish acclimate to their new environment, minimizing stress and mortality. The young fish are initially fed floating pellets for easy monitoring, then gradually switched to slow sinking feed as they grow to promote uniform and healthy development. Professional divers regularly inspect cage structures, check water quality, and remove biofouling organisms like seaweed or barnacles to maintain a clean living environment. After approximately 10 to 12 months of farming, when the red snapper reach market size, around 1 kilogram, the harvesting process is carried out carefully and gently using seine nets to avoid damaging the fish. Next, the fish are lifted out of the cage using large specialized scoops, ensuring speed and safety. Immediately after being removed from the water, the fish are placed into chilled seawater or iced containers to preserve optimal freshness before being transported to onshore processing facilities. At the processing plant, first, the fish undergo preliminary cleaning to remove dirt and external impurities. Next, workers carefully perform the evisceration process, taking great care not to rupture the gallbladder. After that, the fish are manually scaled to ensure the highest quality. After completing each stage, the fish are immediately placed on ice to maintain freshness and prevent any interruptions that could degrade product quality. Finally, once all processing steps are completed, the fish are sorted and packaged in specialized plastic bags that retain moisture and prevent oxidation, ready for cold storage or transportation to consumer markets. Filleting fish is an important step that helps neatly separate the fish meat from the bones while preserving the product's quality. At the processing plant, filleting is typically performed by skilled workers to ensure high accuracy and speed. The filleting process begins by cutting along the fish's backbone, from head to tail, to separate the meat on both sides of the body from the bone frame. Workers or machines carefully guide the knife close to the bone structure, removing small pin bones without tearing or losing any fish meat. Afterward, the fillets are thoroughly inspected to remove any remaining scales or small bone fragments. One of the most expensive crabs in the world, the red crab. With its sweet flavor, firm meat, and high economic value, the red crab is not only a beloved delicacy, but also a highly sought-after product globally. Join us as we explore the harvesting, processing, and preservation process that keeps this crab's freshness intact in today's video. Atlantic red crab fishing is a specialized fishery activity that takes place in deep offshore waters, where fishermen must contend with rough seas and harsh conditions to harvest this high-value species. The most common method used is bottom trapping, which involves sturdy, box-shaped traps baited with fresh fish or squid to attract the crabs. After about 1 to 2 days, the fishermen return to retrieve the traps. Once hauled up, the crabs caught inside are quickly picked out, roughly sorted, and transferred to a chilled hold below deck, where they are stored in cool, well-ventilated conditions to keep them alive and fresh until the boat reaches shore. After all the traps have been hauled up and the crabs fully collected, the fishing vessel begins its journey back to the temporary receiving station. The travel time can range from a few hours to over a day, depending on the fishing location and weather conditions at sea. When the vessel arrives at the port, the crab unloading process begins. Each crate of crabs stored in the hold is lifted using cranes, pulleys, or manually in the case of smaller boats. Workers carefully transfer the crabs from the hold to the deck, avoiding sudden shaking or impact, as the crabs are highly prone to broken claws or death from sudden temperature changes. The crabs are carefully placed into specialized plastic containers, typically designed with ventilation holes and insulated walls. Inside the containers, ice or cooling gel is used to maintain a stable temperature between 0 and 4 degrees Celsius, the ideal range for preserving crabs without causing them to die from cold shock. Red crabs are primarily used for their meat. After being transported to the factory, the crabs undergo a thorough quality check and sorting process. Next, the crabs are quickly cooled and boiled to preserve their fresh, natural flavor. Once cooled, the meat is carefully extracted, and the shells and unnecessary parts are discarded. The crab meat is then cleaned, meticulously prepared, and packaged, ready for distribution or export. In addition to being processed for meat, red crabs are also frozen whole to meet the diverse needs of customers, making them easier to transport and store for long periods. One of the popular preparation methods is steaming the crabs, which helps retain their natural flavor and the quality of the meat. Each piece of smoked meat is sliced thinly and evenly under the sharp blades of a modern cutting machine, revealing a layer of shiny, fragrant meat. The characteristic smoky aroma blends into each fiber of meat, awakening all the senses, reminiscent of cozy meals, rich in traditional flavors, but no less sophisticated. Making smoked meat is not only a processing process, but also an art of combining time, temperature, and meticulousness in each step. This article will guide you on how to make standard smoked meat, from choosing the ingredients to when the meat is taken out of the oven, ready to captivate anyone. Only healthy pigs with fresh, firm meat are carefully selected for processing. The best smoked meat is made from the loin of the pig, which is firm, tender, and low in fat, ideal for the smoking process. Therefore, parts such as the head or calf will be removed, keeping only the loin meat. Next, we need to remove the ribs. Some facilities use high-pressure presses, while others rely on skilled hands to gently lift out the bones without tearing the meat, like unzipping flavor from the frame. Each piece of meat is fed into a specialized cutter with a built-in positioning system and a blade that automatically adjusts to the thickness of each piece of meat. The ribs are gently removed by a thin, sharp blade that slides close to the bone edge without tearing the meat fibers. The entire process is controlled by sensors to ensure that no bones are left behind, while keeping the remaining meat flat, not crushed or deformed. During the marinating stage, the deboned pork belly is soaked in a marinade called brine, a mixture of salt, sugar, nitrite, chalk nitrate, usually pink salt. Beneficial microorganisms are added to promote a gentle fermentation process, which helps create a deeper flavor and helps the meat last longer without chemicals. To help the meat absorb the spices faster and more evenly, people use a specialized machine to poke small holes on the surface of the meat, helping the marinade penetrate deep into each fiber of the meat. After the meat has absorbed the spices from the marinade, the worker will press the meat into the mold to shape it, helping the meat fibers to tighten while also helping the spices penetrate deeper into each piece of meat. Compressing the meat into the mold also helps remove excess water, creating conditions for the meat to retain its texture and tenderness when finished. After the meat has been pressed into the mold and kept in shape, it will be put into the smoker. The smoking process will be hung in a space with smoke from special wood, helping the meat not only cook slowly, but also absorb the rich, fragrant flavor from the smoke, creating a golden color and a delicious, crispy outer layer. When the smoked meats are finished and give off an attractive aroma, they will be cut into bite-sized pieces, ready to continue the mission of bringing everyone delicious, flavorful meats. Look, those strong teeth are being shredded by the pliers. It sounds strange, but that's what adult pufferfish are forced to go through. So why do they always have to cut the teeth of the pufferfish? Why is such a small, cute, and funny fish a dish that makes others wary? All the secrets about this strange and contradictory fish will be revealed right in the video. Young pufferfish are usually raised in a controlled environment before being released into the ocean to develop naturally. Raising young pufferfish indoors ensures that they have good living conditions, are well fed, and grow healthily. In addition, during this period, the fish will be carefully cared for so that they can adapt to the marine environment when released. After reaching the appropriate size and health, the baby pufferfish will be released to the sea, where they can live freely, hunt, and grind their teeth naturally, developing according to their wild instincts. In addition, raising them indoors also helps control the water environment, temperature, and other factors, ensuring that the fish are not infected or stressed. Pufferfish are provided with a nutritious diet such as snails, shrimp, and bloodworms, helping them to grind their teeth naturally and develop their bodies. In captivity, if there is no suitable food to grind the teeth, the breeder must periodically trim the pufferfish's teeth, helping them to eat normally and maintain their health. Every day, workers at the pufferfish farm feed the fish at regular times. They carefully check the amount of food, choosing the right type for each stage of the fish's development. From live food, such as shrimp and small snails, to frozen food or pellets. They don't just feed them. They also observe their behavior, checking to see if they are eating well and if they show signs of fatigue or illness. Adult pufferfish can eat specialized dry pellets, but they generally prefer live food. Protein-rich pellets can supplement the diet, but should not completely replace natural foods such as shrimp, crab, and snails. Once pufferfish are of sufficient weight, they are carefully transported to large restaurants. Pufferfish are usually transported in water tanks with filtration and oxygen systems to sustain life during the long journey. Because pufferfish are sensitive to the environment, the transportation process must be done quickly and carefully, avoiding stress or injury to the fish. This dish is known to be dangerous because pufferfish can contain deadly toxins if not prepared properly. Therefore, only chefs with special certificates are allowed to prepare pufferfish, ensuring the safety of diners.